The champs is here.
Yo, we out here on the track when the dreamers run. Each step a testament, yeah, we get it done. Crushing all the hurdles, breaking through the pain. The Texas sun shines bright as we train in the lane. Push it to the limit, never look back. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. So lace up your shoes, let the journey commence. Texas track dad, we build the suspense.
Yo, what is going on? It's been a busy week. Hey, it's been a rush week here, and we gonna end it with a good one with Coach Z on here. We go jump into that in a little bit here. Let me just check something real quick because I'm trying to get this show to pop up in my one of my groups on Facebook. Look like it's legit right there. So yeah, hey, shout out to y'all for staying with me all week. Commenting on the show, man. Y'all really been engaged on a lot of stuff I've been doing, and like I said, once again, I appreciate that. I really do, guys. I really do. But shout out to my guy over there, Trackborn. I always got to give my guy there a shout out. Shout out to Rush Bowles out there in Bloomington as well. But what we're gonna do? Hey, one more thing. Hey, I know y'all seen it. Texas Track Dad Ambassadors is dropping. DM me. We got the cooling towel right now. We got some more products coming soon. So just hit me up in the DM. It's for athletes and coaches. I get y'all all that information. All right. So we're going to bring them all right now. I'm going to do a little introduction. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
What's up, sir? How you doing, man? Appreciate you for having me.
Man, I appreciate you coming, man. It's been a busy day for you, you know.
That's the world I live in right now, man. It's the world I live in. I signed up for this, so
yeah, for sure. For sure. So we got Coach Z on. A little bit by him. Here's a quick bio. Over 20 years coaching sprints and hurdles. Sprints and hurdles coach at Olivet, Nazarene University. Led teams to back-to-back NAIA women's 4x4 national titles. Coached 8 NAIA national champions. Produced 47 NAIA All-American athletes. Founder of Legacy Runners Elite Track Club. Developed. Sorry, I had a comment over there. Developed over 100 AAU and USATF All-Americans, USATF Level 3 certified sprints and hurdle coach. Known for science-based results, driven coaching, inspires athletes to believe and achieve the unbelievable. We're going to definitely talk about that last one in the show too. When I seen that, like, man, that's really good. But yeah, what's up, Coach? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
That sounds like a good person over there, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's me or not, but we're gonna roll with it,
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Coach.
I mean, for me, I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I moved to Chicago back in 2008. I was coaching high school football, and a mentor of mine now, Miss LaCarol Pratt, she was like, "Hey, you're my new track coach." I was like, "Huh?" And that's how we started rolling with track, man. I got into track coaching, and that first year it was terrible because I was trying to coach kids how I was coached, and then I
Uh-huh.
transitioned to start getting coaching education, and that's the part of track I fell in love with, which is the education part of it. And now I'm a strong advocate of coaching education, and I try to use as much of that knowledge that I can to put back into the athletes. I have
Uh-huh.
had a really good, high school, college, and youth career so far. I'm looking to add more to that. I've been at Olivet Nazarene going. This is year 4, getting ready to start up. So we've had a really good run here, and this season that's coming up is probably going to be our best one yet. And that's
Okay.
crazy to think that we just graduated a USATF Olympic final or semifinalist in the 400
Uh,
hurdles. But I'm saying this season's going to be better than that one. So
nice,
I'm
nice.
excited about it, man. We got some good things coming down the line at Olivet Nazarene.
Now, Coach, you said is keeping up to date on like how can I say it? I I don't think you change your coaching techniques, but you're always learning. But is it important to keep, just to keep learning something in coaching, like going to clinics, and is that important? Is that something you do too? Try to stay on top of?
Absolutely. I try to stay on top of it, man. I try to stay on anything that's changing, anything that, because I think this generation, you can't coach them like we were coached 20, 30 years ago. So you better find a way to be able to reach these kids and keep them growing, because now with the advent of the transfer portal, these kids getting out of here.
Yep.
So you better be able to help them grow. You better be able to relate this thing to something they can relate to. So I'm going to be at a coaching clinic on Saturday.
Okay.
Vince Anderson, a couple coaches are coming here to Illinois. I'm going down to that thing on Saturday, even though I've heard Vince speak a million times, but every time you hear him, it's like you're hearing something different. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
try to pick up. I'm a firm believer in I'm gonna gather as much knowledge I can, put it in my coaching toolbox. I might not use anything I hear this weekend, this season, but
Hmm.
eventually I'll have an athlete that I can pull something back. It's like, okay, hey, I got something for you right here. And so I try to
Hmm.
be that guy. I know the program and the system that I want to run, but I'm always looking at ways to be better.
Yeah, and I think that's important. To always try to learn as much as you can, because you're not gonna ever know everything. You're just not gonna know everything.
Absolutely.
And I know, sometimes it's easy to get stuck in your ways, but like you say, times are changing, and I think we're in the era now where we're seeing these track athletes, they evolving, man. I mean, look at, they got middle school kids. It's just crazy right now,
They
And I
they are
think, yeah,
evolving, but they are evolving. But I also, like, I have this conversation every summer with some of our youth parents, because we have some really high level youth kids in our club, and so I
uh-huh.
have this conversation. And my thing is, we see all these kids right now that are just running out of their mind, right?
Hmm.
I always say I hope those young people have a good team around them,
Yep.
because when they get to the college level, what's going to be left on the bone, right? Have they hit their genetic ceiling? We don't know. And so, as a coach, you got to be able to have ways to find those things out. Whether that's in testing, or whether that's tweaking a workout here or there, or tweaking a program to fit some of these. I call them super kids. I love seeing it, but I gotta be able to keep up with when these kids come in, because before, you get a kid that come in, he can't age skip, right? She can't, acceleration patterns be messed up. Now some of these kids are coming in with all that stuff down pat. So then where do we
Yeah.
go as a freshman year now? If you already
Yeah.
have it, I'm not gonna spend 36 weeks, or how many weeks we have, trying to teach you something that you already have. Now it's how do we get better from here? And so I think coaches that land these young people and they excel at the college level, those coaches have understood how to make that impact on these kids. And I think those coaches are out there. People just got to know what they're doing when they're looking for these schools.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. And I knew it was gonna happen, Coach. We just talked about it. I told you I make these questions, man, and I get
Hey,
on
we get
one
to
talking,
talking.
and I go to the moon, man. I go to the
Hey,
moon,
I
and then
told you,
this is
man.
what.
I'll talk track with you all day. Like me and Lamont, we'll get on the phone and we'll talk, and we'll be talking track, and I'll be like, man, we got to get off this phone because we'll start talking track, and it end up a whole different
Yeah,
conversation about track. You know.
yeah, yeah. This is one of my I want to say favorite topic because it bothers me, right? Like you say, these kids they so young, running so fast, man, and college is rough, man. It's a beast, and it's like, um, are you preparing them, man? Because if they, to, I'm just gonna break it down like this. All right. So A grader running 11.3, 11.4, you still not going to get a scholarship. You're not getting no scholarship. You go to high school or whatnot, ninth grade, you still say you run like 11.4, something like that. You're still not going to get it. You're still not going to get a scholarship, right? These schools probably not going to start reaching out to you till probably your junior year. You know, if you super elite or whatever,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit earlier, maybe in the sophomore year. I don't know, but junior year, that's when you go get your big deal. But I just think though, man, I think a lot of parents, man, they getting caught up in the hype of NIL deals. My
Mhm.
kid going to the Olympics, everything else, and they giving these kids, they having these young kids do college workouts instead of developing the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's
And
what I
and
tell them. That's what I tell my parents. I tell my because we have parents that look at these kids, and I tell them all the time, it's great if these kids are developing through natural progression. It's great, but when you take in middle schoolers and man, please, when you look at what happened at the Junior Olympics, when you taking 8, 9, 10 year olds and you throwing them in college workouts and you throwing them in workouts that their bodies they really can't handle, they can't handle the stress of it. What's the long term effect of that, right? I'm
yeah,
not saying
yeah,
these kids can't be fast. I love watching these kids run fast, but again, I go back to I just hope all these babies that we're watching right now have a good team of people around them that understand overtraining is real, the mental stress of it is real. Um, Injuries are real because when you start running that fast, you better learn how to be real selective and when you run because
yeah,
you can't expect to run fast like that every weekend. We don't have that issue here in Illinois for the simple fact that we don't start summer track until first or second week in June. I know you
got you,
guys in
yeah,
Texas and down in Florida, y'all in summer track in March and
yeah,
April. So you
yeah,
got teams
yeah.
that's running, 12, 13 summer meets. We get 5 meets on a good summer.
Woo, yeah,
We get
we
5. We go first weekend of June is
uh-huh,
normally a meet. The next weekend is AAU district. Then you got another meet. Then the next weekend after that is AAU regionals. And
yeah,
after that, if you don't do nothing else, you got one more local meet, or like for my club, we go to a club championship. Then you come in, you go to the JOs, and that's your
yeah,
summer. So you
yeah,
got to get it in, right? But some of these other states, they got a longer summer, and you see these babies running these crazy times, and then 3, 4 years down the line, they get to high school. We don't hear from them.
yeah,
Now you're
yeah.
getting more and more that's getting to high school and doing it, which I love to see. Now I want
Mm-hmm.
to see how we transition these kids that are running the 9.9s for the men and the 11 flats, 10.9 for the women. How do
Mm-hmm.
they transition to the college level?
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
that
yeah,
transition like when you get to the college level? And now you used to being the fastest kid in your state for the last 2, 3 years, and now you hop on these teams where everybody's fast.
yeah.
Everybody, you go to Power Five, everybody on that team that's on a scholarship was probably the man or the woman in their state, right? And
Yep.
so that's where the mental side comes into play. That's where the side where the coaches, the youth coaches, the parents, the high school coaches, I don't know if they're fully preparing a lot of these kids for that part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you see a lot of the bouncing around with the portal now. Everybody's talking about, well, they got a right to transfer. They do, but why are they transferring? Like, are you transferring because it was a bad fit? If it was a bad fit, why was it a bad fit? You was only there for 6 months, 7 months. What did we not do in the lead up to this process? Like you've been getting recruited. Did you just pick it for the name or did you pick it because it was
Yeah.
a fit? And so I think those questions got to be answered in recruiting with parents and athletes. And Start looking at fits instead of looking at the
Mhm.
name on the jersey sometimes.
Yeah. I think, man, I think the parents I think they got to get involved in it. They got to know what's going on and just don't go about, what a coach is telling you or whatever.
Yeah,
But I
man.
do, but I do believe, Coach. I do believe that like training equipment per se has evolved as well, and
Absolutely.
it's making them
Absolutely.
faster. Yeah, it's making them faster, but and it's not putting as much stress on their body, as the old school stuff
I
per
don't know
se.
though. I think it's making it faster, but I also think it's putting it, depending on who's doing what. I
Okay,
think it's
okay.
putting more stress on the body.
You think the new stuff is
I've
doing
seen
more?
I've seen I've seen some people that got 1080s, and you look at
Uh-huh.
it, these kids are on 1080s every day.
Mm,
There's too much stress on the body.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
every high school, every club kid shouldn't be on a 1080. And I'm gonna stand on that one. I don't think they should
Now
be on it.
describe. So what's that? What's 1080?
So,
What is
so the
that?
1080 sprint machine is just like
Uh-huh.
the T Apex, so the over resistant, the over
Okay.
speed and the resistant stuff, right? You can put a kid on it and do over speed. You can set it to, okay, I want this kid running 11 meters per second, let's say. I hope
Okay.
everybody really doing that for a high schooler, but I want you running 11 meters per second. So they put you on that, and now it's pulling you to that. I see it
Mhm.
sometime online, man. It just like the kid getting dragged down the straightaway. And
Ah, okay,
it's
okay.
like
Is that like
that
the
ain't what it's
Raptor?
designed for.
Is
What
that like
happened?
the is it Raptor or whatnot? Is that like that, or
So
is
it's
it a
more stuff.
treadmill or
No, because those are like stationary. It's like the Raptor is it's like a pulley system, but the T Apex and
Mhm.
the Sprint 1080, you can do the overspeed where you hook it up in front of them and the machine just pulls you at a
Ah,
certain
I got
prescribed
you. I
speed.
got you.
And
Okay, I
so
got you.
you're supposed to be able to do that, and you're supposed to be able to hold your mechanics and hold the speed
Uh,
once the tether releases. I've seen some kids, that you ain't really holding. So you're manufacturing speed, but can these kids hold it, right? And again, if they're doing it naturally, hey, by all means, I love to see it. But I'm still not convinced that everything that we're seeing is all natural either. But that's another
yeah,
topic for another
that's
day.
another topic there, Coach.
Listen. I don't listen. I'm gonna love it, and I ain't gonna never accuse a kid. But man, I've seen kids over the last few
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, wait a minute, I just saw you last summer. Like, I just saw you last summer, and I know what progressions look like, but you went from a 13-year-old running 50, 58 to a 14-year-old running 48. I want to know what y'all doing. I want to know what your coach is doing because I need to understand these workouts, right? Uh, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say
yeah.
that in jest, but the sad reality of it is we know it's happening.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
and
yeah.
then when these same kids when some of the kids that are doing those things, when they get to college and they don't perform, now it's the college coach fault.
Hmm.
Or is it really what you was pumping in the kid when he was in high school or when she was in
Yeah,
high school?
yeah,
Like those are things that I don't like. Like you see these
yeah,
kids and the kids are being a pawn in this whole thing. Because it's normally
yeah,
the
yeah.
parents or the coaches that decide to do that foolishness. And it's all for likes on Facebook. It's all for the very small NIL dollars that track kids are getting. And it's crazy to me that people do it. And so I just again, I always go back to my answer with I just hope all these babies that we're watching run real fast right now have a good team around them to protect them from those type of things. And I want to see the sport grow, and I want to see us continue to evolve, and I want to see kids to continue to get fast. But I want them also to be protected from people that want to do it other ways, right? And
Yeah,
everybody's so
yeah.
impatient right now because everybody is so I gotta have it right now, I gotta have it right now. And I understand it, but sometimes this sport take patience. And as a people, we're not always patient.
Cause you hit on so you hit on so much what you just said. One, not knowing what your kid is getting from a coach, or if a coach is giving them anything while they're at practice.
Gotta be
not
involved.
not paying attention to what's going on with your kid. That frustrates me. Then you want to blame it on the coach. Said the coach gave it to him. What were you doing the whole time?
What
But
were you doing the
anyway,
whole time? Hey, listen,
but,
listen. We can
but
go down a whole rabbit hole right there. I know because I'm right there with you. And
yeah.
again, I've been doing summer track for 17 years, so
Uh-huh.
I've seen kids develop slowly through the process, and then by the time they get to high school, they're running really fast. I've seen kids go from 8, 9, 10 U, and you're at the back of the pack, and then a year later, you on the podium at JO's, and it's like, and then all of a sudden, the next year, you know where to be found again. So it's like, what are we doing? How are we getting this thing? But also, I do believe coaching education has gotten better. I believe the spikes have gotten better. I believe the tracks have gotten better. Absolutely, training equipment has helped that. And so I do believe there are coaches out there that are doing it that way and that are training their butts off and getting these babies faster. And
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day for some of these coaches to really get their respect and their due. It's similar to us coaches down here in the NAIA. If anybody watches what's going on at that level the last couple of years, you can't tell me coaches ain't coaching their butt off at that level.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
that goes into the fact of athletes, parents, high school and club coaches doing their research on everybody except doing the research on everybody, not just the blue bloods, right? Because
Yeah.
there's coaches out here that's coaching their butt off that's not
Yeah.
getting that credit.
Yeah. And I appreciate that too. I'm like, man, y'all need to start reaching out to these other coaches. These athletes, they get so set on this school, and this school don't even want them. if you haven't heard
I
back
think a
from
lot
the
of that is
school,
adult driven.
oh yeah, of course it is. Of
A
course
lot
it
of it's
is.
adult
Yeah,
driven, whether it's a coach
yeah,
trying to steer you somewhere that they win, or they buddy coach there, or they feel you're talented enough to be here and your talent is beneath certain levels. You know, I being in the NAIA, I hear it all, man. I talk
yeah.
to everybody. I don't care what you run. I talk to you. Even
Uh-huh.
if I know you top 10 in the country, I'm gonna still talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still
Yeah.
talk to you
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I've talked to some kids. I got some kids in this class that were getting recruited by a bunch of mid-major schools, but they understood what we got going on here and they like what we're doing. And so they decided to come to us
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the money gonna be the same. The degree gonna be the same. It's about how do you want to get that degree? You want to get it paid for and you want to have a good college experience, or do you want to get part of your degree paid for and just go get a bunch of gear?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's as plain as I get the parents and athletes during the recruiting process. I can't
Yeah.
promise you we're gonna fly everywhere. I can't promise you we're gonna give you 5,000 pieces of gear, but I can promise you you're gonna get coached, you're gonna get a chance to compete, you're gonna have a good career, and you're gonna get a little gear on the way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just gotta make that decision on what they want to do. And you know, that's part of the whole process of parents being more involved and parents doing their research as well,
Mm-hmm.
because right now it's everything is athlete led right now. Well, I
Yeah.
want my baby
Yeah.
to figure it out by themselves. Why? That don't make sense to me. You need to be involved in this because at the end of the day, if something go wrong, it's gonna fall back on you. If a check got to be cut, you got to pay it. So you might want to have a say in, you know, or at least research it for a little bit.
Yeah. So, man, Coach, I'm telling you, man, we ain't started not on one question I got on this paper
Yes,
already.
I have.
But
I've
let me
been
tell you
answering
this.
them, man. I've been answering those questions.
Let me tell you this right here though. You make a lot of good points. You know, the coach, the parents, man, if they don't get involved in the recruiting process, it's not going to work out. If you just going to let your kid handle everything, come on. Well, they're a kid. You know, you need to get in there, ask the questions, and if they say I'm okay, I'm signing with this school, that kid should be able to tell you why. Why do you want to go there? And
Yes.
don't tell me because of the track program. Tell me something else. You know what I'm saying? We know, okay, the track program is good. Okay, tell me something else about the school, right? Just don't let your kids say, hey, I want to go here because the track program is good. Then they go, they don't like the school after freshman year. Now we got thousands of kids in the portal.
Oh, I'm
Now,
bored. The school wasn't fun. They didn't
yeah,
have my major.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got there. The
yeah,
coach run a different system. Why wouldn't
yeah.
do that? Why wouldn't you have none of these discussions before you made that decision?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
I think the portal again. I think the portal is one of those things where if a kid gets in a situation and things don't work out with the coaching and coaching staff change and things like that, absolutely get up, go, leave, find somewhere to go. But hopping in the portal because you're not happy with a decision that you chose, that just means you didn't do your homework up front. Like I
yeah,
don't think you should be able to. You have athletes in the NCAA this year that's going to be on their third and fourth school, and they're not a senior yet, and they
yep,
get the run. And
yep,
everybody's cool with it. I don't understand it. We don't have the portal in the NAIA, so we don't really have that problem. The problem we
yeah,
have is we get a kid that nobody wanted in their high school, and we get them good, and then all of a sudden you look up, they running it in the Big Ten or they running
yeah,
in the ACC now.
yeah, yeah,
You know, we
yeah,
we've become a de facto farm system for Division 1 and Division 2. Not even really Division 2, mostly Division 1 because we had young women at the NAIA Indoor and Outdoor National Championship that were freshmen and sophomores that are now running in the ACC and SEC this year.
yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
it's
but it's not, coach. That's not a bad thing, though, to me.
I don't
Y'all,
like it.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all. I know y'all do the leg work on it,
and it's
and
part of the game.
that,
I get it. It's
yeah,
part of the game. I get it. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch two young people this coming college season that I poured everything into and help them get to where they want to be. I'm about to watch both of them run at different universities next year.
yeah, yeah,
One
yeah.
she did her time here. She did everything she had to do, and she was
Uh huh.
granted an extra year by the NCAA, so she went and took it. So that's all good.
Uh huh.
Another one, we got him to 20 point, and he's still leaving. He went twenty
Yeah,
point three, and he's still leaving
yeah, yeah.
because the grass. They look at the grass and they get sowed and they get talked to, and all of a
Hmm.
sudden everything on the other side look good. And so
Yeah,
it sucks, but it's part of the game. And so we just get the
yeah.
next one ready and coach them, right? And you just hope that eventually these young people stick around 4 years. So you have four
Uh,
years with them. They get their degree and they go on and they be productive because at the end of the day, track's going to end for everybody. When that happens, who knows? But it's going to end for everybody. You better have that degree back in that back pocket. And
mhm.
it ain't nothing like leaving college debt free or in very minimal debt.
Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And coach, I don't, man, don't you man, you're doing a great you I know it's tough, man. I know it's tough seeing them leave, but it's one of them things too, man. Of course they going to a school that can provide more resources, man,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that can help them out,
Yep.
but I know it's tough because you did the leg work on it, man, and you're not the only coach, man. You're not the only coach that's seeing that. I see it
Oh,
every
I
year,
know.
man. I see
Listen,
it every year. I
listen, my
see it
thing is
every,
this.
yeah,
I'm never going to be mad at a kid for going somewhere that's going to put them in a better position with better facilities. Although I think we have great facilities where we at, but they got more resources. I'm never going to be mad at that. My issue is always with the college coach at the other school with how they do
yeah.
it.
Oh
Because, like,
yeah,
again, we
yeah,
don't, we
yeah,
don't have the
yeah,
portal, but
yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah,
D. I have DMs and screenshots of DMs of coaches that reach out to
yeah,
our kids all year long, wanting them to transfer and to come to other schools
yeah,
and do the negative recruiting as if they not doing well here, right? And so it's
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
game. It's not
yeah,
a. I don't think it's what's a moral way to do it, but I mean it
yeah,
happens. And
yeah,
again,
yeah,
for me. I've always had the philosophy for when I was a high school coach, when I coached youth, and with my college kids. I'm a coach who show up at the door.
yeah,
You
yeah,
walk in the door,
yeah,
you come to practice, you're gonna get coached. And
yeah,
we're gonna coach to the best of our ability. And if that's not enough to keep you there, hey, God bless. We'll see you around the track.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it
That,
ain't it,
that's how
I
you.
don't take it I've learned to not take it personal
Yeah, yeah,
and just understand there's always kids, there's always athletes, there's always someone to coach. And so
There's gonna be always somebody who's gonna need you out there, coach. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I
Yeah.
attack it from the youth through the college level, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, coach, just you hitting on so many things. You brought up NIL, the little bit of money in NIL these athletes are getting, and that is true. And I think it's a false narrative going around with these parents too. They really don't know how college operate. You know what I'm saying? They telling
It's
these
because they
athletes.
it's because they look at the handful of football players and the handful of basketball players that's making all this money, and the sad reality of it is, don't nobody really know how much this money really is because
Exactly.
there's no official numbers out there. You're only
Exactly.
going on what's being reported, but you really don't know how much that is. Oh, such and such evaluation is $4.6 million. That don't mean he's getting 4.6.
Yeah.
That just means that's what somebody evaluated him at, his worth at. And so I don't think there's a track athlete out there that's making millions of dollars in NIL.
No.
Even the ones that are signed with Nike and New Balance, all those places, they're probably real heavy with apparel. But again, I don't see those contracts. I'm not privy to those things. But
Yeah.
I don't think that nobody's pouring millions of dollars into NIL for track athletes in this country.
Exactly.
So is there money there? Sure. I'm a firm believer in that. Still should not drive where you go to school, because again, you're gonna spend that money and you're gonna still be in that same spot, and now you're not gonna be happy. So then
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
You're exactly right.
it goes back to parents having to be involved in this process. I think parents need to be involved in this process even more now,
Yep.
because kids are being promised things that probably can't happen, or they are being signed with collectives and things like that. Like if you're a top 10 kid and you're a parent of a top 10 kid, you should be in on those initial conversations.
Oh
And
yeah.
if a coach is telling you they don't want you in on that conversation, you should be wondering why. Like I get, as college coaches, we want to build relationship with athletes and all those things, but anytime you start talking NIL and money and scholarship money and dollars, I think somebody that
Yeah.
ain't been through a little bit need to be on that call with you.
Yeah. Those NILs, they're gonna involve written agreements, contracts, all that stuff.
They come with
You got to make.
taxes and they come with
Yeah.
consequences. You better
Yeah,
understand what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah. And sometimes, if you get a nice one, you might want to consult with a lawyer or something. Make sure everything's good to go.
Make sure
Because
make sure you ain't signing that that's gonna tie you to these people for future earnings and other things. You better
exact,
understand what you're
yep,
signing.
yep. Better understand it. You better understand it. But I do think, man, I do think that a lot of these parents, man, they telling these kids, hey, when you go to college, you go get this big NIL deal, you go get this full ride scholarship, and that's another thing. Well, I got jumped all over, man, in
Listen
one
here,
group,
man.
man.
Listen here.
When I said all athletes don't get full scholarships.
Listen here. I just had that conversation. I just had that conversation today with a gentleman. He's a 2026 prospect. Reached out to him. His first conversation was, "Am I gonna get a full scholarship?" So we don't even offer full scholarships. But even if we did offer full scholarships, where you're currently sitting at, I can't tell you you're gonna get a full scholarship, sir. Like it's
Yeah.
not that's not how this works.
Yep.
You better
Yep.
make sure the academic side is tight. Now you can probably pair academic money and athletic money together to get you a full, but we some of the blue bloods will give you full, but even they not giving out complete fulls to everybody. Like it's I don't know, man. People better understand that in this sport, the classroom is always important, but this is definitely important because you can stack academic money with scholarship, with athletic money at most of these
Uh-huh.
places, and put yourself together a good packet. But
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
wanted my baby a full scholarship athlete. Okay, yeah, but you're a full scholarship athlete to where? So
Exactly. And I told one person, I said, if you think you're gonna walk up to a college coach and Tell them your baby gonna get a full ride. They gonna show you the door. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen, they do it, and they do it. They do it, and they do it at our level a lot because it's
Yeah.
like they do because people come. People come. I talk to parents at our level, and
Uh-huh.
they don't know the landscape of the NAIA, so they just know it's not NCAA, and so they assume
Uh-huh.
that it's not fast. And then when I start telling them what it takes to get to national, when I start telling them what it takes to get to top 8, their tune changes. Because you come to me talking about your baby run 20, 25, 87, and she need a full scholarship, but it take 24:49 to get to nationals. I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna get you a full scholarship, especially if I already got a gang of 25 girls on my roster.
Yeah.
Like you better be faster than that. And I know this is one of the questions later, but since we're talking about scholarships, it's starting to be a whole lot of specialists, and I don't understand that from a
Yeah.
high schooler. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand how you are a 56-second female quarter miler, and that's all you run because you're a 400-meter specialist.
Mm,
Not understanding that at all. I can see if you was a 52 or a 53, but you are a
uh-huh.
56 quarter mile as a junior in high school, and you told me you're a 400-meter specialist. I'm getting a
Hmm.
lot of that. This in the
Really?
2025, I got a lot of that. I got a lot of, I'm a specialist coach. I run this, and you want a
So they
scholarship?
so no 200,
No
100.
200s, no 100s. They'll run the 4 and the 4x4. Or
Ah.
I had a young man.
Uh-huh.
He ran 1065 last year in high school from the Midwest. I'm a
Uh-huh.
100-meter specialist coach. I don't want to run the 2. I just want to run the 100. But you want me to give you money for that? Like you
Mm.
want me to give you money for something that won't even make our national meet? I'm not understanding how this
Wow.
works. And so
Wow.
when I have
Wow.
these conversations with parents and they look
Yeah.
at me like I'm crazy, I love TIFAs. I didn't pay attention to
Oh yeah.
TIFAs until I became a college
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
I did it a
Yep.
little bit in high school, but I was pretty aware, and I was able to pick up the phone as a high school coach and call college coaches and just ask the question: What are you looking
Yeah.
for? What do my athletes need to do to be on your radar? Okay, cool. We'll go back and do that, and then we'll call you back. But now I go to TIFAs. Like you can go to TIFAs and click on
Pull up the
NAIA.
conference. Yep.
Yeah, I don't even tell them that because like these kids, some of the kids that call me or some of the
Uh-huh.
kids that DM me, I should say, they always want a full ride, and I just tell them go to TIFAs, click on the NAIA, and then just look at that number, look at that A standard on the top of the screen. If you're not one of those A standard people in multiple events, I don't have a full ride for you.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
even our version of a full ride still ain't gonna cover everything. We'll get
Yeah.
you about 85 to sometime 90% covered, right? But to do that, I need you to be able to come in and be a kid that can get to nationals his freshman year
Yeah. Yep.
because resources and money is limited. And if we're gonna put that much into you, I think people fail to realize recruiting is a business sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so we have to, you know, we got to recruit it that way, and we got to make it make sense to athletes and parents and coaches that, hey, yeah, I know Jimmy ran 1049 last week, but he didn't ran 7 times this year, and he ain't broke 10-7, but that one 1049. Like we need consistency before I'm sitting here and going to invest a whole lot of money into you. Now, I'm not going to sit and say I'm not going to take a kid that run that, but again, I'm going to look at consistency, and I'm going to look at,
Yeah.
I don't particularly care about the wind reading a lot. I'm in the Midwest. It's gonna be cold here regardless. So it's gonna be cold. We were standing outside in winter coats and parkers at the national championship this year in Indiana in May.
Mm.
So it's gonna get cold here just out the blue. So I'll take any kid that want to be coached and that want to come to the Midwest. But I just think parents and athletes got to understand the business side of recruiting
Yeah.
and, and understand that there's enough schools and enough scholarships for a lot of kids if they just open their eyes and not have the D1 and bus mentality, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I'm obviously strongly against D1 or bus, but um, because I know too many dope coaches at different levels that get it done with lesser talent. And I just always look at it. Imagine what they're gonna do if they can get the talent that some of the other people get, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's but everybody don't look at it. They look at the finished product a lot of times, or they look
Yeah.
at the school name, and then it's like, well, that's where we gonna go because they did this.
Mm-hmm.
Because they took a kid from they took a kid from 21 from 21.4 to 20.8. But this coach over here at X University took a kid from 24.2 to 21.4. But it's not celebrated the same way as the bigger name.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
look at it as development is development, man. And if we talking development, then
So, do you think some of these coaches get to the big time school and kind of slack off on their coaching because they know they'll be able to bring in talent, and you just pretty much got to maintain it type deal, or do you
I'm
think
probably
some
about to
coaches
say
kind of
something.
slack?
I'm
You
probably
try
about to say something that's
wait it
gonna that's
to
gonna
be
probably
put?
assure that I don't ever get to that level. Um, I wonder if they could coach in the first place.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
part of my thing. I wonder if some of them can coach in the first place.
yeah,
I think some people that are in some of these seats shouldn't be there, but they are because of connections. And you have some at that level that do a great job of recruiting and developing what they get in. I'm never gonna say, hey, you get the best talent, so you're good. No, because I've coached elite kids, and I understand you still got to develop them. It
yeah,
just looks different,
yeah,
right? It just looks different, and you have a smaller window of error with these kids because they already are good. And so when they come to you already good and you don't make them better, everybody in the world is looking at you like, what did you do to them? So I'm a firm believer there are some wonderful Division I Power Five coaches and mid-major coaches that get it done even with elite talent. There's obviously some that get it done with non-elite talent. But I don't know if it's a thing if they get lazy, because I don't think in this profession we can get lazy, especially when you get to those levels and those seats, because now it's about producing at the conference level or you're gonna be out of a job. I
yeah,
I just think I think a lot of coaches try to make every athlete fit into my system. This is what I'm doing. This is how it's gonna work. Um, and it don't work like that with everybody no more.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you gotta be able to have you gotta be able to unfortunately and fortunately meet some of these new athletes where they're at. You can and I've learned I can still be me and I can still have my core principles and I can still be the coach I've always been, but tailor certain things of the program to kids. Like I'm real big on when I get a kid come in before we start fall practice. I sit down with everybody in my sprint group. We have one-on-one meetings, and I learn more about what they did well in high school. Like what worked for you in high school.
yeah, yeah,
If it's certain things that just off the wall, we can't do it. But if it's things that can fit into what we do, we try to fit it in there. I'm not a one size fit all. We'll have 41 men and women sprinters and hurdlers this year. I'm probably going to have at least 5 or 6 different programs being run throughout the year, just trying to make sure everybody's getting what they got. Because I'll have a group of about 9 or 10 that are just developmental, and they gotta have all of the mechanical, everything developmental they got to be doing. So they're going to be pulled through a little bit slower than my kid last year that ran 1175. Should be doing
mm,
something completely different, right? We try, so
yeah.
I try to pair what we're doing to what the kid needs, and I don't think a lot of coaches do that. I think it's this is my system, this what we're doing, take it or leave it.
You got to be able to make adjustments. You know, you every athlete is different, I believe, and something might work for this athlete, it might not work for that athlete. You know what I'm saying? It's I believe it has to be different.
I
Got
think
a
it has
couple
to
of
be different, but I think it's tough, especially when you are some coaches that have had a lot of success.
yeah.
it's
I
it's
got
it's tougher for them to change, and I get that. But
uh
as an athlete, that's why I think I go back to the athlete. That's why as an athlete in the recruiting process, you need to be understanding what system you're going into, and you need to understand, does that system work for me?
true, true.
Because if that system don't work for you, then you know it ain't gonna work. Because like athletes, I'll give two examples. You have Coach Holloway at Florida, and you have Coach Green at Kentucky. They're vastly different coaches, but they get results, right? But they also recruit athletes that fit their system and their style of coaching. Because if they
Yeah.
don't, it's very rare that you get kids that go to either one of those schools and they leave because it wasn't a good coaching fit. You know,
Hmm.
they may leave because they're not getting the shine they want to get, or they may leave because people are around them are passing them up. But it's rare that they're leaving because, or that we hear that they're leaving because it wasn't a coaching fit. You know,
Yeah.
so again, I go back to checking out what they do before you get there, and understanding those systems, and understanding what that training looks like.
Yeah, and I got I got three questions for you. Well, I got three questions for you, coach, but I want to say this. Um, I think that the athletes and the coach and the parents need to be aware of this.
Yep.
The way they perform, the way they are trained in high school and they are successful, there's you need to focus on a similar type of training in college, right?
Hmm.
So you can't have this athlete training this way where they was productive and progress and successful and all that, then go to this school just because of the name and they doing something totally different out there it's not going to help them at all. I just
Now,
think it needs to be similar.
I, I, I think kids can go to different programs, but when they do that, they have to understand there's going to be some regression at first.
Okay. Okay.
And I think right now we're in a world where as soon as a kid regress, they feel they got to leave. And so if you're changing system, there's going to be
Gotcha.
some
I
regression
got
there.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
similar to when I get these kids that come out of these feed the cat high schools.
Yeah.
When I get them their first year, their first month of practice, it's a nightmare for them because we're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that they've never been asked to do. But once they get it and they really want to be here, it works out fine. And I think that happened to a lot of kids too. But again, the portal has allowed these kids, as soon as they have a negative experience or they regress, they jump in the portal and they run. So I think they can. I think athletes can still go to different systems, but you got to understand with doing that, there's going to be some regression. I'm not going to go to that system and I'm going to be immediately good. And then also, even if you go to a system similar to what you had in high school, that don't mean you're going to go run fast there either. Because again, the biggest thing that hinders freshmen from when they go from freshman from college, from high school seniors to freshmen in college is environment and the changes. Because
Hmm.
now you go from everything is structured for you. You know what time you got to go to school. You know what time you got to go to bed. You know what time you got to go to practice. Somebody's always making sure you're doing those things. You hop into school as a freshman, no one's checking on you to do that. They tell you what to do, but
Yeah.
now you're on
Yeah.
your own. Are you eating
Yeah.
right? Are you taking care of your recovery? Are you doing the things you did in high school off the track to make you successful?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and
Yeah.
and that's a big issue with freshmen. They come in and they experience freshman year. And they forget I am a collegiate athlete, so I automatically forfeit some of this social stuff. And a
Yeah.
lot of them can't
Yeah.
do it as freshmen.
Yeah.
Most of them learn by sophomore year. But you know, sometimes freshman is that transition, and to be quite honest, for 90% of the track kids, it's supposed to be a transition year.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
it's the reason why it's not a lot of freshmen at the NCAA Division One and Division Two nationals.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a transition, but
Yep.
again, we're living in a I gotta have it right now world. So you know,
Yep. Yeah, yeah, Coach, man, you dropping some gems. It's so many things I want to hit. I want to hit on right now. Uh, the freshman part coming in. Oh, let me say this first. So I'm not saying that the programs have to be exactly the same.
Yep.
What I'm saying is, so in high school, they work more sprint work, striking the ground, doing more fundamentals, developing more power and stuff like that. And they ran um 200s, 150s, 300s, whatever. Then you go to college and their sprint program, they run at 400s, or you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it has to be a little bit similar. I'm not saying it has to be exactly the
Absolutely.
same. You can't go
Absolutely.
to a college that's 400-meter dominated, where more quarter horses go there,
Yep.
and versus,
Yeah.
I
So
believe, sprint
yep.
wise.
So
We might
basically, you in a high school that's a short to long program, and then you go to college at a long to short program.
exactly,
It's
exactly,
gonna be some
exactly,
regression because
exactly,
you're not used to
exactly,
it. The
exactly,
body's not used to it.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
I
And
absolutely agree with that. Like I
yeah,
agree with
yeah.
that. But again, that's where not falling in love with the name on the jersey comes into play.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Let's see what Coach Kaiser says. With all due respect, track that I think you're talking about the top end kids in high school and the training they are doing. Most high school kids are not coming from those fine two high school programs. But yeah, I get that. I get that. Um, what you think about this, Coach? What are you saying here?
I mean, I understand what he's saying, but I don't think we're necessarily talking about the level of the training. I think we're
Yeah,
talking about the
yeah, yeah,
system of the training. So
yeah. The system.
I
Yeah,
agree what he's saying there. Trust me, I'm in Illinois. There's a whole lot of bad coaching at the high school and middle school level, but there's a whole lot of good coaching too. And so
yeah.
I totally get that. But I'm more so looking at it from the standpoint of the system itself, not
Exactly.
necessarily the workouts, not necessarily how it's been facilitated. But if I'm coming from a high school where all we do is acceleration, max velocity the first part of the year, and then we build speed endurance on the end, then I go to a college where in the fall, I'm doing 500s, I'm doing 350s, I'm doing 250s, and then I don't get to acceleration max V until competition phase of the training. That's a
Hmm.
different system, and the body got to
Yeah.
adjust to that. So I agree with what he's saying, but again, I think you and I are talking about the actual system and not necessarily the actual workouts themselves.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Most definitely, we talk about the system. Coach Kaiser, hey, yeah, it's no problem. Hey, opinions are respected on my show. Anytime you want to say something, feel free to. And I appreciate you following me, Coach. As always. You got so ET Junior on IG. He got a few questions for you, Coach.
Okay.
I don't think you can see the IG over there, but I got
Nope,
it
I
here.
can't see him, but I'm
Okay,
willing to answer whatever he
okay,
asks.
okay. Can an athlete lose their scholarship if they don't perform well, or if they get out get out performed by another freshman?
for for Olivet Nazarene, we're not taking your scholarship unless you become academically ineligible or you get suspended or something in trouble at school. We don't operate that way. But at the NCAA level now, that protection of not taking scholarships is gone out the window with these new rules. There's been reports of kids losing their scholarship mid-year now, because before you had to go through a whole process before you can take a scholarship. Now it's not. But as far as Olivet Nazarene is concerned, I'm assuming that's what he's asking about. We don't take scholarships like that. That's not how we do. You lose your scholarship at Olivet. If you lose your scholarship at Olivet Nazarene, you've done something egregious. Like now you're just ineligible, or you decided you want to just go be a menace on campus and get in a bunch of trouble. But from an athletic standpoint, most NAIA schools aren't doing that. NCAA schools, I think they can take them now for performances. Before this year, it was against the rules to take scholarships or reduce scholarships based on performance, I believe, at the NCAA level. But again, I think a lot of that has changed with these new rules that have come out.
Yeah, 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 for sure. And just to add to that, ET, that's another thing. Those official visits, that's why they so important. This is for the parents too. When you talking to the coaches there, you need to ask him, is this scholarship, is this locked in, or is this a year by year, case by case, or what's the deal with the scholarship? You okay, y'all giving me this scholarship, but how long I'm gonna have it, or can I lose it? If my athlete get hurt, or they done, or is their scholarship out the way? I don't think parents are asking these questions, and there's some very important, because I get it. I mean, they're excited, they hype, they got an offer, but you need to know, hey, if my kid get hurt mid season, is is the kid still good? Is my kid still good on a scholarship? Or if they go
Not
ahead,
only is he still
go ahead.
good on a scholarship, but is he going to be taken care of medically? Like if he get hurt in
Yeah,
track, is he
yeah,
going to be taken care of medically if y'all take him off scholarship? Like, are those things going to be covered? These are questions that should be being asked up front. But again, the more and more I've been doing recruiting over this 6 years that I've been a college coach, I'm getting less and less parent involvement. And it's their decision. We want them to make a decision. I understand that, but you should absolutely be aware of what they enter into. Because if it's a bad deal, you should be able to be like, hey, I don't think that's a good deal.
yep,
Somebody has to be the voice of reasoning when a lot of these kids are getting everything in the world thrown at them. And again, I don't live in that blue blood world, so I don't really get to deal with the top 10, top 20 kids. I am a if you want to develop, you want to get a chance to run, I got a spot for you. But I try to lay it all on the line. And I know parents are asking this question. So when I meet with kids, everything we just talked about, I talk about that absolutely all the time. I tell them up front, how you lose your scholarship, how you get more scholarship money with us, what that criteria looks like. I make sure they know that before they leave my office or before we get off the phone every time.
yeah, for sure. Et Junior said he appreciate you, coach. He appreciate you answering that. Coach Kaiser here said he wants to connect with you.
Coach, hit me up
So
on
y'all,
Facebook. I'm on there somewhere. I don't want
what's
to get
your
the line,
handles,
but I don't
coach?
even know my IG handle. I'm bad with
Oh
social
no, I
media,
can I
but
can pull it up right now.
hit
One
me up,
second.
Coach. We can talk. I talk training all the time, man. I probably talk it way too much sometime, but
Let's see here. While I'm getting this, coach, let's see. What advice could you give to the athletes who feel discouraged if they don't get D1 offers?
what advice I would give the athletes that get discouraged? First of all, I tell you, if you're out there giving it everything you got, there's nothing to get discouraged about. There is a school for almost anybody that wants to run. It doesn't have to always be a Division 1 school. You have so many levels, so many colleges out there. Even if you have to go the junior college route, which it's a hard route and it's a rough route sometimes, but it can also be a very beneficial route for some athletes. And so I'm not opposed to say, hey, go take a year to JUCO, right? But for those kids that are getting discouragement, I just tell them, figure out what school you want to go to. Figure out what that school look like you want to go to, and then go look up what those times look like on TFRS and kind of tailor expectation to those things. Like if you're a high school boy and you running 10-7, 10-8, then realistically the Power 5, Power 4 is not an option for a scholarship. But there are mid majors that will take you. There are D2s that'll take you. There are tons of NAIA schools that will take you. But you have to understand that Division 1 is not the end of the line. Is it a goal? Absolutely. But it does not have to be, and it is not the end of the line for you. And so when you understand that, you kind of can make better decisions and find other options. Because I promise you, options are out there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Coach Kaiser, I put Coach Z information um in the comments there. So you just click that, it'll take you to his IG and it has all his information there.
Yep, we can, and
Uh
just hit me up, coach, and we can I'll send you my number through there.
all right. So yeah. Um, this is my wife here, right? Because man, we went through the recruiting process, man, and it's she said yes, a parent need to be involved. I'll tell you what, man, I was involved in everything that went on with my daughter, and I'm still involved, and I'm gonna be involved until she leave, until she graduate. You know what I'm
Man, you
saying?
have to, man. Anytime you send in your some of your most prized possessions off to these coaches, you got to know what's going on, man. It's I think it's too many parents that want their kids to grow up faster than they need to be in some of these situations,
Yep.
and I'm not gonna go as far as say you're doing them a disservice, but I am gonna say you're not always helping them because
Yep.
as we look at the transfer portal, it's so many kids in that portal, man. Like it's so many kids in
Yeah.
there, and there's so
Yeah.
many kids that were on scholarship last year at universities that will be sitting home this fall or paying to go to school somewhere because they hopped in the portal, not understanding that yeah, the portal's for everybody, but the portal ain't for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they hopped in
Yeah.
there not understanding most of these kids that go in the portal, especially the top ones, they know where they're going before they go in the portal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Even
Oh yeah.
even if it ain't legal, they know where they're going before they hop in the
Yeah.
portal. Most of
Yeah.
these kids ain't hopping in the portal without having an idea of where they're going.
Yeah.
It's the ones that don't have the numbers, that don't have the times, that got into these P4 schools or these mid-major schools by the grace of God, and now you want to leave, and now you sitting in the portal with not a place to go.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of that stuff can be alleviated if people are involved in asking these questions up front. And they just
Yeah.
don't want to do it for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like
And
information. It's not like it's not a million people on social media telling you be involved, ask these questions. This is not a new concept. It's just people don't want to do it sometimes, and then everybody want to be. Well, we transferring, we out of here, we going here. Okay, well, good luck when y'all get done. I'll be for sitting in that. I'll be for sitting at Olivet waiting on you.
yeah. Yeah. Yep. Coach Kaiser said he just sent you that follow too on IG.
Okay, I'll get them
I
in a
got
minute.
then I got another question just popped up for you.
Okay.
But like I said, Coach, you really hitting on some good stuff, man. Because to the parents who's listening, maybe they parents of juniors, well, seniors who probably seniors now or whatnot, that's gonna go through this process and all that. Tell your kid now, if they go in that portal when they go to college, your scholarship is gone. I don't even
Listen,
think anybody know
I
that.
don't I
Gone.
don't know anybody. I don't know anybody at the Division 2 or the Division 1 level, and I know quite a few coaches that are letting kids keep their scholarship when they go in that portal. Because it's a coach's choice. And I don't know anybody that's saying, hey, we're gonna let you keep your scholarship while you go test the water. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
understand the game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They definitely go. Yeah, you need to ask questions and all that stuff. We got questions popping up everywhere now, Coach. We got a comment here.
Coach
Mr.
Kramer.
Kramer. Yeah, Kramer.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
He's at oh my God, Grand Valley State.
Grand Valley State. Okay, okay. He said, preach. the portal, the portal is a divorce.
Yeah,
It's not pretty. And the one leaving is usually the one who gets the raw end of the deal.
yeah.
So you got to know what you're doing.
For the vast
And
majority of the kids that go in that portal, there are kids, and I know this because I peeked into the portal yesterday. There were kids that have been in the portal since the fall of last year that are still looking for schools.
yeah, yeah,
How do I know this? Because I sent out a bunch of emails yesterday to people. I'm like, hey, you haven't found a home? I got a place for you. I got a room for you, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's interesting, man. It's a tough spot to be in,
yeah.
and I feel bad for some of the kids that hop in the portal because some of them hop in there for legit reasons. Other of them hop in
Mhm.
because they face a little adversity and they don't want to deal with it, and they just go.
Exactly. Yep. 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 And
Adversity is good, but
and I tell them, man, I tell them on my show, hey, y'all need to buy into that program and don't expect everything that like you brought up that freshman year. You need to focus on learning first of all, getting everything squared away in school. Make sure you got your books and classes passed and everything, familiar with the campus. Second, getting your workout done. Make sure you learning proper lifting techniques, adjusting to new training and all that. And these parents, man, I think some of them like, hey, man, your freshman year in college, we want you to win NCAA indoor championship. Then we need you to come back and win NCAA outdoor championship. Then we need you to go to the world championship. Then we need you to make the USA. Freshman year.
I mean, at 18, you want me to do all of that. At 18, you want me to do all of that and still keep a 3.0 GPA.
Yeah.
And still have a social life, and still be able to hang out with my friends, and still be able to come home on breaks to hang out with the family. Man. It's always the expectation of others that cause some of these young people to fail.
It is wild.
So
yeah, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's always the expectation of others that cause some of these kids to fail.
Yeah. You're right. You got a question from Colton over here on IG. We'll jump to Miss Johnson statement in a minute here. Colton, what is the best way to get a coach or a program? What is the best way to get a coach or program to notice you as an athlete? Does it start with filling out multiple questionnaires, or what's your advice on that, Coach?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We have a questionnaire on our website. I don't know if people use it or not because I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. Recruiting today for athletes is so easy because you have so much access to college coaches. Dang near every college coach in the country is on Twitter or on Instagram. And now you got a bunch of them on TikTok. You go send them a friend request. Because now when you send them a friend request and I get one back, I'm gonna see everything you post. Especially if I follow you, I'm gonna see everything you post. So if you posting, I had a track meet, this is my results, here go a video, I'm gonna see that.
Yep.
Like I tell my club kids that are getting ready to be juniors and seniors, you need to go online, you need to figure out what school. I want you to find 10 schools you want to go to. And I want you to go follow those coaches on what's the name. So every time you post, they can see it, or every time they post something, now you can see it and comment. And you start those conversations that way. And if you want to, drop a DM to them. Like I don't know many coaches that got their DMs blocked or private like the athletes do. Drop a DM to them and just introduce yourself. It ain't gonna be nothing overly, no long drawn out thing. Hey, I'm such and such from East Texas, and I run these events. Boom, introductions made. Now the ball's in the coach's court, right? But I will tell you, it's just so easy right now for kids to get noticed if they do a little bit of legwork. Like again, you're on your phone all day anyway. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on Twitter anyway. Conduct some business with it. And again, recruiting is a business.
Yep.
Recruiting is a business, and you got to make yourself marketable. And it's not just going to be your time, because when I finally talk to you, I'm not even going to ask you about your time, because by the time I get to you and have a conversation with you, I've already
looked
at the times on milesforlathletic.net. I want to know what your grades look like.
Yeah.
I want to know you got a 3.0 GPA. Okay, cool. I can get you $19K of academic money right now with a 3.0. You got that? We halfway there. I want to know, okay, cool. What other events you do? Like, what else do you do besides track? Because what I tell my athletes at Olivet all the time, they're going to get this speech in about 2 weeks at our opening meeting. Find you some friends outside of track. Find you some friends that don't do track. Find you a hobby that ain't got nothing to do with track. Because on those days when this sport get hard, on those days when that practice kick your butt, the thing you don't want to always do is go back and talk to somebody about track. Go find you something to do. We have young ladies on our team that do knitting, they do arts and crafts, they do clay. Obviously, the guys go get on the game, whatever case may be. But I tell them all the time, find you an outlet that don't have nothing to do with track, because you're gonna get burned out. There's gonna be days where you're gonna hate this sport if you're doing it at a high level. Those are the days where you gotta have an outlet to do something else. But as far as recruiting, it's easy for the athletes now because you have access to all these coaches. Because just like the athletes, the coaches, we got our phone in our hand all day, every day. I know I do. I send more texts than I do anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's that's my advice. I know that was a long way of me saying get on social media and start following coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. The let me do this. I forgot I got this new deal here. Let me see if it works. Hold on 1 second. Anyway, yeah, and what I hate the most, I hear it all the time, especially with high school students, and it is not nothing against them. It's the way they are taught by trainers and parents and all the other stuff or whatever. The no days off mentality, where I'm tracked 24/7. I can't. I hate when I hear that.
And you're gonna be injured and slow 24/7.
And
this is not a sport that more is better.
Yeah, and I always ask them when they come on my show too. What's your hobby? What do you enjoy doing? Make sure you go do that. When you can, go do it. Do something outside of track, and like you said, it has nothing to do with track. The whole no days off mentality, and we're gonna work and we gonna do track. That's all we do is track. No, it's not gonna work because they got to have something outside of it.
Listen, my three kids, my three personal kids, they're fairly good track kids. They are national elite kids, and so in our track club, we get new parents that join every year, and they want to know, what does you do with your kids? And I tell them straight up, I don't do nothing with them. When they leave track practice, go be a kid. Leave me alone. Go find something to do with your life, is what I tell them to do. Because we believe in letting them have outlets other than the sport, even though they are high level in the sport. But no, you got to have an outlet, because if you don't have an outlet, things are gonna not work out like it should work out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got to have a balance. You definitely got to have a balance there.
I'm sitting at my wife's desk trying to find a place to plug up my phone before it died on us, and she has 5,000 things plugged up over here. Jesus Christ. What I'm looking for the present moment. What's going on? So that's why I'm looking around, folks. I'm still paying attention. I'm still here.
We got you. But for the parents that's listening, I know we've been hitting on stuff like the portal, going on those official visits and all that stuff. You got to make sure you're involved. Don't send your kid to an official visit by themselves. Don't do it, because I'm telling you right now, coaches, if that school is not for them, they probably can be easy manipulated. To sign with the school.
Ain't no probably easily manipulated. Hey, coach, ain't no probably easily manipulated. You send your baby to some of these schools by themselves if you want to, and a coach really want that kid there. All right.
Yeah, you want to.
That kid come back home like, I signed today, Mom. What? Well, you were just supposed to be going to visit. Who told you to sign something?
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Another thing, if you need to make sure they not sign no e-docs or anything in their email, after a visit or whatever. You want to make sure that don't happen. Coach, what do you think about so? Is it some kids that do you think it? Well, you probably gonna know. Are there some kids that jump in the portal and don't tell their parents about it?
Yeah, I talked to one today, and I know they parents.
Wow.
That's why I called them. I know they parents. I called them like, was like, I just talked to you 2 weeks ago. When you get in the portal? And why your dad don't know? I ain't want to tell me I was trying to find a school on my own. So who gonna pay this bill? Because you're not paying it because you don't have a job.
Wow.
What you think they're gonna say? I don't want to let them know. I said, well, you might want to let them know because you don't have a school right now, and classes start coming up. But yeah, if they do it. More kids do it than you know. But again, they feel empowered to do that because they was left alone to do the process by themselves in the first place. So if you left me alone to do the process by myself in the first place, the first time, why would I feel I need to reach out to you, let you know I'm going in the portal?
Yeah.
So
Exactly right.
it's
You're exactly right. Hey, for the athletes that are listening, because I know a lot of y'all follow me or whatnot. If y'all going through it at school and y'all think y'all need to leave that school, make sure you call your parents. You need to have a conversation with them, let them know what's going on. Just don't jump in that portal because when you do, you lose your scholarship. Then now you're putting your parents in the bind because they got to figure it out, right? They got to figure it out. You're gonna have to come home, or they gonna have to figure it out. So if you're going through something at school, just make sure you reaching out to your parents.
and
You
that's just a
know,
bigger issue other than track, man. With some of these young folks, they go through these things because again, a lot of these young kids are going through things that we never had to deal with growing up, or either that we never chose to deal with, right? I think it's more young people now are more open to dealing with trauma and things like that. If you're
mhm.
going through these things, don't sit there and go through it alone, regardless if it's got track related or not. Talk to somebody that can help you get through these things because it's not, it ain't worth it a lot of times. Like we get, again, I promise y'all, I sent out about 22 emails yesterday to kids that are in the portal that I looked at that they've been in the portal since the fall and haven't found a home. And it's like some of them have good times and some of them is like, why did you jump your butt in this portal?
Yeah, yeah,
But no one's advising them because they're not talking to people. And again, a lot of these kids I talk to, when you sit down and you talk to them and you talk about the process for them coming into college, they made a decision solely by themselves.
yeah,
Nobody helped them make it. No, not a college coach, not a club coach, not a parent. They was left to make that decision by themselves. And you got so many young people out here drowning in this situation because they left to hang out by themselves, and it's tough to watch it. But again, I understand the business side of it. You had a lot of kids that were released from scholarships from P4 school that was forced into the portal,
yeah,
and a lot of them are still sitting. So it's tough both ways. But again, you want to have a plan. You want to talk this thing through, and you want to figure this thing out before you just go to that compliance office and say, "Hey, I'm transferring. Can you put me in the portal?" Because, like we said, once you go in that portal, whatever scholarship money you was getting, you ain't getting it now.
yeah. You're exactly right about that. Um, and the portal is risky business. It is risky business.
There ain't no
Um,
guarantees.
it's no guarantees, and just because your buddy is doing it, don't mean you need to do it. Be your own person. It's part of
Hey,
being. It's
if,
part of
if
being
you
an adult. You know.
better make your own decision. Don't try to
Yeah.
hop in there with your buddy. Oh, my buddy leaving, so I'm gonna go with them. Okay.
Colton say he appreciates you, coach. Great advice. He'll be connecting with you and the program tonight.
Absolutely.
And that's on IG. So I'm pretty sure he's sending you an IG
Yep.
message and all that stuff. So and I'll send you his tag and all that stuff.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah. Coach say I spent 25 years D1 and now starting year 7 at my D2 school, changing landscape. Coach is hitting on some good stuff. Yeah, he is. And we didn't get to none of the questions.
No. I
But
made sure.
we
Hey,
hit on some of
listen.
them, coach.
I made sure in my process of talking, I hit on some of the things that I knew we was going to talk about. So I made sure
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
some of it in there, right?
yeah.
But this kind of what I
Yeah,
do. I end up just talking
and
and it goes to other
I
places.
told you too before the show. I'm just like, man, like these topics, man. It's you just mentioned certain words, man, and I'll go way left, and
And
the
I'm gonna
questions
go
will be
with you
out
every
the
time.
the, quest, because some need to be said about it.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
use this too. To inform a lot of people because they don't know. They
They
really
don't
don't know,
know.
man. They really don't know. But so that's all we have right now, Coach. And I'm gonna have to get you back on too.
Man, listen, I'm always available. Well, let me stop lying. I'm mostly always available. Like I told you, I took on coaching little league football this year, so I'm doing that with my youngest son. But the college group started up. But Friday nights, man, weekends, I'm always available, man. I love talking track. I love trying to be a resource to people that want me to be a resource to them. We just I've fallen in love with this sport and the process of making kids great in this sport. And I truly believe when the right kid and the right coach and program get together, good things can happen. We've shown that the last 3 years at Olivet, and we're going to continue to show that. So, man, anytime you want me to come on, got questions, anybody that's watching, that's listening, please connect with me. I am passionate about this sport. I am passionate about helping young people be a better version of themselves on and off the track. So I'm here, man.
Yeah, indeed. I'm gonna make sure I got it off mute here. Yeah, indeed. I'm definitely gonna have you back on here. Actually, I'm trying to put together a coaches panel pretty soon here too. I love for you to join that, man. And I say, Coach, you hit on so much stuff, man. I couldn't I couldn't respond to everything you was dropping, man. You dropped so many gems. It's still if I hit on everything I wanted to, you were saying it'll be probably a couple more hours on this, but we'll definitely
Hey,
we'll
we can
definitely
always
get
come.
back.
Like I said, man, I'm always open to come running back, man. I appreciate you. I will be
What?
in Texas this fall recruiting, so
Okay,
I'll let you
okay,
know. I'll let you know what part of, man. We have a
okay,
program that's going to allow me to get out and get it into a couple different states, and one of those states will be Texas this fall. So I will
okay,
be in the
okay,
area recruiting. You will know I'm recruiting because I'm going to post about it. And like I tell
okay.
people, I'm always recruiting, and we always have recruiting dollars. So
Cool.
we have two young people from Texas right now. I need some more Texas speed to bring their butts to the Midwest.
Yeah, hey, hit me up when you get down here, and I can reach out to some people, man. And you want to swing by there? That'd be cool.
Yes, sir. As soon as I find out the list of areas they're gonna send me to, I will make sure that you get it, and we can let people know, and then you can let me know if you know any athletes in that area. Because again, I'm coming to Texas to sign kids.
Yeah,
I'm not coming to just hang out and talk. I'm coming to
yeah.
sign kids and try to bring you back to the Midwest. And don't worry about it, Texas folks. We got a brand new, beautiful indoor facility that's a 8-lane oval and a 10-lane straight. And remember, I'm from Georgia, so we stay indoors a lot because I don't do cold weather for real either. Listen, my kids think I be joking. We
Yeah,
was in,
yeah,
we was indoors on the indoor track in April. I don't, it was like
yeah,
52 degrees outside. I don't understand why I'm
Ooh,
out here. We're going
yeah.
inside. It's not.
Man, I appreciate you coming to Texas, man, because we got a lot of kids down here.
Man, y'all got a lot of kids that don't
That
want to leave the state of Texas, but again, that's
Hey
another
man, they
conversation
love.
too,
Hey,
man.
they love Texas, man.
Man,
And I
I
told
get that,
somebody
but
that the
man,
other
they can
day.
tell some of them they
That,
can leave Texas. They can come get good education and some good coaching outside
yeah,
of Texas, man.
man, we spoil these kids down here, man. We spoil them. I always say if an out of state school get a Texas kid, I know they be like, yeah, there we go, there we go.
I try to swing it. I've been trying to swing and get Texas kid for 5 years. I finally landed two last year, and they both were all conference kid for us last year, and one made Nats. And so
Nice, nice,
again,
nice.
I'm trying to have a national recruiting base because again, we're trying to elevate what we're doing at Olivet, and we've done it, and it will be. I'm going to continue to do that out of the Spencer Hurdles group. So
Hmm.
I look on a national landscape trying to recruit kids. Anybody that want to come to the Midwest and be coached, shoot me a DM. 2026 kids, we are recruiting right now, and I am recruiting every sprint and hurdle event, men and women's side.
All right, cool. Hey, coach, two things before you get out of here. Got two
Yes, sir.
things popped up for you on IG here. Wichita Athletics. Wichita, I guess it's Wichita, Kansas.
Hmm.
Said come check us out. Hey, y'all send coach a DM message.
Send me a
Also,
DM message. And if you got kids, I will be on the road through this fall recruiting. I won't do a lot of recruiting on the road once we get back in January, just because we'll be in season and hosting meets and things like that. But from September through December, I will be on the road recruiting. So let me know what you
okay,
got.
good.
And if I need to make a trip to Wichita, Kansas, y'all not that far from me. Y'all are actually drivable from Illinois. So just let me
Cool,
know.
cool, cool. Yeah, hey, for everybody who's listening, if y'all want Coach to come out, send him a DM. Yeah, he'll take it from there or whatnot.
Absolutely.
But any shout outs, Coach, from you before we get out of here?
Man, just I want to shout out to all the coaches that's out there doing it the right way. All the coaches that pour their time and their energy and their money and resources into helping these young people be the best version of themselves. Like I said, there are a lot of bad coaches out there that give the sport a bad rep, but there are a lot of wonderful coaches that do great things that don't get seen and don't get recognized. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do. And I'll touch base with a lot of you guys. Again, between the high school and college and track and youth season, I see a lot of coaches and a lot of kids. Keep it up, great people. And I'll see you guys when I see you.
Yeah, good job, Coach. I appreciate you, Wichita. So Coach's IG is gonna be Coach _ Z _ Johnson. That should get you to him. If not, once I end all this, I'll go to IG, make sure that information is on there. But again, I appreciate you, Coach. Hey guys, I appreciate y'all for coming in here, checking us out. We over 100 viewers right now
That's
on my
awesome. That's
screen,
awesome.
and
So
that
a lot
yeah,
of people heard me
and that's
talk a lot. Good.
yeah. That's not even counting the X and the other stuff that's
Okay.
going on with my platforms or whatever. So we well
Awesome.
over that.
Awesome.
So probably
Well, I
closer to
appreciate the
200.
opportunity,
Yeah,
Coach. I really appreciate the
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. Anytime. So we're out. We see y'all later. Texas Track Dad Ambassadors is out. DM me if y'all interested, and we are out of here.
The champs is here.
Yo, we out here on the track when the dream is run. Each step a testament, here we get it done. Crushing all the hurdles, waiting through the pain. The Texas sun shines bright as we train in the lane. Push it to the limit, never look back. Texas Track Dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas Track Dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas Track Dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. So lace up your shoes, let the journey commence. Texas Track Dad, we build the suspense.